Hey! Alright, so you have your stuff. You now know what to do with it because you've watched the first video. What now? The next big thing to do is to set goals. So I say goals. It's actually really important to set one goal because we want to make sure that you are not being overwhelmed and that you are really focusing on the one thing that you want to change. So when we talk about goals, it's really important to think about SMART goals. So I always forget what these acronyms mean, but S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for timely. So what that means is that it needs to be a specific goal. So for example, instead of I want to lose weight or I want to get healthy, you would say I want to lose 50 pounds, for example, so that you really have that specific measurable goal. Measurable is that it has to be measurable. So you have to, I want to get healthy. What does that mean? How do you measure that? So you really need to make sure that you can measure it every day, every week, every month, whatever it is that is good for you. Attainable. So if you're going to say, I want to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks, it's not attainable, right? So if you were to say, I want to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, that is attainable. It needs to be relevant. So it needs to be relevant to you. It's really important that your goal, your why is specific to you because you are going to be the one that is working on this goal and it needs to be important to you. And timely. So it needs to have an end date on it so that you are not just saying, I'm going to lose 50 pounds whenever, right? So you need to have it, even if it's 2 years, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 2 years, at least it has that end date so that we can work on the daily action items. So that leads me on to the next part of daily action items. So it's really important to have the goal so that you know what you're working on, how long you have to work it on, and what the measurable parts of it are. But what's even more important are the daily action items, what you're going to be doing every single day to work towards this goal. And you need to know for yourself where you are at right now. What is your season of life? How honestly and realistically, how much time do you have to commit to your health and fitness journey every day? And it's not just working out, it is meal planning, meal prepping, getting your water intake in, drinking your Shakeology, reading personal development. So just be realistic, what works for you. And what I find is a good kind of analogy is, are you going to be walking? Are you going to be jogging? Are you going to be running? So for example, when I started my health and fitness journey, I was pregnant with my 3rd kid and I had 2 very young kids. So I was not at the running stage in any area of my life, but I knew that I wanted to start my health and fitness journey, so I started at a jog. And as I got towards the end of my pregnancy, it became a walk because I just didn't have the energy, mental energy or physical energy to put in as much effort into my health and fitness journey. And so just be honest with yourself, and that will really, whether you're walking, jogging or running will really dictate the goal that you set and the daily action items. And it's much, much easier to create good habits than it is to break bad habits. It's really hard to break bad habits. And I'm not saying that you can't do it because you can totally break bad habits. But at the beginning of a health and fitness journey, we want to have wins because when you get a win, you feel good, you feel excited, you feel energized, and you want to keep going. So adding in, let's work out 3 times a week, or let's drink a gallon of water every day, or let's drink your shake every day, or let's have like a healthy breakfast or a healthy lunch or a healthy dinner. Instead of saying, okay, I'm starting my health and fitness journey now, I'm going to work out every single day, I'm going to completely overhaul my eating habits, I'm going to drink water all the time. If you do that, yes, obviously some people can do that and be very successful doing that, but for most of us, we end up failing, and then we feel crap about ourselves and we burn out. So what I want you to do is to know where you are in your life right now. So if you are walking, just add in one thing every week or every 2 weeks. So for example, you might say, okay, I have Beachbody On Demand. Now I want to start working out 3 times a week. Which program am I going to do? Which workouts am I going to do? If you see yourself as a jogger, that's the season of life that you're in, maybe you say, okay, I'm going to work out 5 times a week and I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. And once I have done that for 2 weeks and I feel that I've created that habit, then I'm going to add in a healthy breakfast. And then the following week, I'm going to add in a healthy lunch. And the following week, I'm going to add in a healthy dinner. So if you're a runner, maybe you say, okay, great, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to drink my water and I'm going to overhaul my breakfast and lunch. And then maybe dinner comes, a few weeks later. But it's really important that it works for you in the season of life that you're in right now. And maybe that changes. So maybe you're starting off as a runner now, and then a few weeks later you get sick, or your kids get sick, or work gets really busy, and you have to go back down to a walker or a jogger. And that is totally fine. It is your health and fitness journey. And just because you have to take a few steps back does not mean that you failed, and it doesn't make you a failure, basically. And it doesn't mean that you should stop your health and fitness journey. It's just life. So, adding in those healthy habits will automatically help you to take away the bad habits. So, whatever your bad habits are, whether it's drinking soda, whether it's eating too much sugar, whether it is going to bed too late, whatever it is, as you naturally add in the good habits, like drinking enough water, like exercising, like getting all of the nutrients that your body needs, you will naturally crave the soda less, and so it will be easier to actually ditch that soda. So first of all, we're going to create good habits before we even think about breaking the bad habits. So I hope this video is helpful for you, and I have 2 call to actions for you. So basically 2 pieces of homework for you to think about and get back to me within like 2 or 3 days if possible. So the first one is to come up with your goal. So it really depends on what is important to you, and it should really be focusing on one thing so that you can work towards that goal and you don't feel overwhelmed. And you can use the SMART goal template, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And the second piece of homework is to figure out your next month of habits. So, based on the walking, jogging, or running, what are you going to do over the next 1 month to create those habits? So maybe this week you start the workouts. Maybe next week you start the water. The week after you do your breakfast. The week after that you do your lunch, or whatever it is. So think about those 2 things and get back to me within the next 2 or 3 days so that we can get you started on your health and fitness journey. All right, thanks for listening.